Sir.
All right.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Everybody that's jumping in. We have a lot of people jumping in from all over. And first of all, thank you to you guys jumping in and taking the initiative, taking that step to learn from people that have already done pretty amazing results in this industry. So definitely a big shout out to everybody that's here today. And shout out to everybody here that's taken that step to want to learn and succeed and grow. So congrats to you guys, and definitely helped me in welcoming a good friend of ours. He definitely does not need much of an introduction, but some of you guys that might not be familiar with Manny, he's actually been on the show with us before, and he has absolutely dropped some insane knowledge, and not just guru stuff. This guy is the real deal. I mean, this guy gets on the phones, he shows you how he closes the deals, the science behind it. And he's also part of an amazing organization called Home Buying, Home Selling Solutions. These guys are top notch. So I highly recommend, I'll drop a link for their group as well. They're always dropping content, free knowledge and free game on wholesaling. So without further ado, Manny, welcome back. And good, brother. How you doing?
Of course, bro. It's always a pleasure for me to be here. I love these things, man. And even when it comes from good people like yourself, good platform like yourself, good community like yourself, right? Smart Contact community is a huge family. The HBHS community is a huge family. When we both collaborate, we make shit happen. So it's always an honor for me to be, part of this calls, and for you guys to at least hear what I got to say and implement in your business. That's the most important, to take action on, maybe one thing that you apply may make the big difference. And that's what's important for me, right? Maybe just one sentence, one word that I say may change the way you see this business. And that's the reason why I do this. And that's why, again, one more time, it's a pleasure for me to be in here, brother.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. And I'm excited for some of you guys. Like, there's no way you're going to leave without learning some stuff. Real quick, if you do not already have a pen and paper in front of you, grab a pen, grab a paper, get prepared. I mean, this is not going to be fluff. We're really going to try to hit it, get to the point of, real stuff that we're going to learn.
Yes.
And write down. And then if you do have a question for Manny, let's say you have a deal and you want to learn how to talk to, maybe a question on how you'd approach the situation.
Yes.
Simply just raise your hand, hit the raise your hand button, and we'll try to save them for at the end. We'll try to do a Q&A at the end. So like maybe the last 15, 20 minutes, we'll do a Q&A, and then just simply hit the raise your hand button, and you can jump on and just ask Manny the question directly.
Yep. Let's do that, guys. So I told Adam that I would like this one to be very interactive with you guys. When I like to do these calls, I can talk so much, but I can talk more and get more in details when you guys tell me, Manny, what do I say to a homeowner when they tell me I got to talk to my wife? Or what do I say to a homeowner when they tell me I got to talk to my husband? Or Manny, what do I say when they say I got to talk to an attorney? So questions like that for you guys that may have, saving, writing down. And that's how I would like for you guys to, to do this podcast. Cool.
Absolutely. So without any further ado, let's get into it. I want to ask some questions that I had as well. So let's get right into it here. So in terms of the sales psychology, I mean, it really is a science. It really is science from what you've found. Let's get into some questions on the science of it. What are the core principles that you try to identify? Like when you're trying to build rapport with the seller, like what are you trying to do when you're building rapport with a seller, when you're going through the deal?
Yeah, that's a good question, Adam. And you already kind of know my background in sales. I've been taking so much time and studying more than sales, how we as humans operate, how we as humans think, how we take action when it comes to either buying or selling something. Okay, so it's different things when you're trying to buy something and when you're trying to sell something. It's two different things. The mindset, psychology of a human brain is different. So to answer your question is, I come to find out when I used to sell, I had to sell by emotions. I have to sell by emotion, by making the product look nice and feeling good, feel the product, feel good. Now, we real estate investors, wholesaler that are cold calling, SMSing people, remember, we're not selling a physical product. What are we selling? We're selling a service. So when I have to switch that mindset of, okay, what are the principles that I need to, my fundamentals to get to a homeowner that tells me, Manny, I trust you to sell you the property without seeing you, without knowing who you are. So my principles are simple. One is trust. Trust that I am capable of performing at the price that I need to be at. Trust. How do I deliver trust? By educating myself as a wholesaler, as an investor on my services. Mr. Seller, I can perform buying the property as is. I can perform buying the property, in 24 days, 25 days, whatever the case might be. I can pay all the closing costs, right? Mr. Seller, there is no I will. I can help you do that by doing an affidavit of Ursha here in Texas. For those of you that are in Texas, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So it's educating myself, and by me educating myself, I'm bringing trust to the homeowner. That's number one, huge in sales. Number two, right? Be relatable, meaning always agree with the seller. So the seller says the sun is blue. You know what, Mr. Seller? Actually, I think you're right. I think the sun today come out blue. I don't know why people say it's yellow or orange. Relate with the homeowners, agree with them, but always take them to where you want to be. That's number two. Number three, it's really go deep on the why. Guys, usually, and I can prove this because, and I'm gonna tell you how I can prove it. So here in our company, we have call callers, we got lead generators, right? We got VAs, and their job is just to qualify leads. But when I get on the phones, let's just say usually, and the part where is the motivation, they just have writing down, homeowner said they want to sell because they're looking to move out. Perfect. But how can, Adam, when I get on the phone, I go deeper on the motivation, on the why they need to sell, right? Okay, Mr. Seller, I understand you need to sell because you need to move out, but tell me a little bit more about that. What's going on? Where are you looking to move out? What are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to accomplish?
You're trying to solve their problem.
There you go.
You're trying to identify their true problem, and behind the curtains of that they're not revealing to everybody else.
Yes. So trust, be relatable, I agree with the seller, and of course, identify that problem. Identify that problem with the homeowner. Usually the first why, when you ask the why they don't consider selling the property, trust me, guys, there is another why. There is a why after a why. If they tell you, well, because I need to pay the taxes, okay, you need to pay the taxes, but why do you need to pay the taxes now? And no, you didn't need to pay, last year. Why now? So by you identifying the reason, the why more, it's going to be easier when it comes to negotiating a deal with the homeowner. That way you can solve their problem based on the condition, the why they need to sell the property. So those are my three principles when I get on the phones with anybody, whether it's a multifamily, whether it's a single family, whether it's a piece of land, whether it's just a lady that just wants to sell. But I need to know why you need $50,000.
So I heard,
and why not 52?
Manny, I heard three things. Is there more steps to this, or is it the core three, would you say?
So those are my three cores for sure. Those are my three cores. Of course, by doing those, tonality plays a big part, right? Tonality plays a big part. Rapport plays a huge part, right? But I know for a fact that if I can get those three to the homeowner, if I can get the homeowner to trust me, that I know my game,
yeah,
I know what I'm talking about.
This in the comments. Somebody type these three in the comments, because this is the building block of everything you should be trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So guys, write the building blocks here that we just talked about in the comments. I really want to make sure that you guys truly understand what he's saying. Everything else comes later. I mean, you're going to come, the advanced skills, he obviously is going to show you guys, but this is like the fundamental.
Yeah.
Number one, trust. Number two, relatability, or relate with them. Number three, Just go deep, ask why, and solve their problem.
Yep. That's guy, brother. If I get on the phones, the first thing I do is before I get on the phones is, okay, how can I get this homeowner to trust me? And my job is, before I pick up the phone and call back for an offer, it's before talking numbers, it's have that homeowner trust me. That's number one. How do I do that? I get it. You know, we are a big brand. We have a huge name in the game. We have an office, right? We you know, HBHS, we can tell it, hey, Google me, you know, look my company, and then boom, they pop up. So I take leverage from the name that I have on my back, which is HBHS. Now, for those of you guys that are one-man show, I can tell you this, it's easy. Hey, Mr. Seller, I'm a private investor. If you already have an LLC registered over now, Mr. Seller, I'm a private investor buying properties in the area, anywhere from 5 to 10 properties a month. We're looking to purchase 2 more this month. I'd like for your property to be one of them. So have the homeowner trust you first, relay with the homeowner, whatever the concerns are, answer their concerns, and then of course, you know, get deeper to the why, get deeper to why they want to sell. So those are my 3 principles. Of course, you know, there's more into it, but if you get those down, guys, it's going to become easier for you to understand the sales psychology and why we sell stuff. Look at it yourself. Why, when we're kids, we used to sell, I don't know, I used to sell, you know, those Panini's card from the album of the World Cup, right? The repeated ones, I used to sell those in high school, hustling. Dude, hey, I got the repeated, I was selling. So I knew that some players, they would cost more.
McDonald's, bro. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? I knew that some player will cost more, but I'd be like, hey, look, this one, you can't find this one. I sell it to you for $5. Why not $5? When I used to sell a regular player for $1. But why? Because I know he needs that player. So it's understanding the sales psychology when you're selling something and then when you're trying to buy something. It's 2 different things.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's just truly a great way to start. So trust, relatability, and then building rapport.
Yeah.
So got a question for you. This is going to go the opposite. What do you see as most newer wholesalers, most people that are just starting, when they're talking to sellers, what do they do wrong?
Man, Mr. Seller, you tell me about the property, and before I make you an offer, I need to know this is condition. That's the wrong, right? I always say, guys, we are not talking to aliens. We're not talking to people from all over the world. We're talking to a human being. We're talking to a human being that has a problem, and our job is to become a solution for them. I get it. Sometimes they don't like us. They don't like the way we offer it. We make offers. They don't like the way we present our services. But let's focus on the people that says, I want to sell. I want an offer. So mistake number 1 that I see a lot of people, and I'll be honest, you know, I made that mistake at the beginning, Adam. You know, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, you know, picking up the phone. And it's usually, can I see the property? Can I ask you this question? Guys, don't ask for permission. Don't ask for permission. Ask questions. It's 2 different things. If I ask you for permission by me asking a question, for example, hey, Adam, are we going to have a meeting? We're going to have a meeting today, right? Yeah, I'm affirming that we're going to have a meeting today. Hey, Adam, can we have a meeting today at 10? Adam might say, no, man, I'm busy, man. I'm busy today. But if I'm saying, hey, Adam, we're going to have a meeting today, right? The podcast today. Oh, yeah, we're going to have it. It comes out different. Yeah. So don't ask for permission. Ask questions. Now, I see here Omar a comment. It says, Manny has an accent, Latino people. What do you think of the Barry guys? Look, I'll be honest with you. At the beginning, it was hard, right? Because I have an accent. But then what I had to do was really scale myself up and understanding how I can provide value to the homeowner. And right, like, brother, now I call anybody and everybody, and I don't even care about my accent. I just, because I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I know how to talk to them. I tell them what they want to hear. And what they want to hear is, how quickly can you buy? How much are you going to give me? And how easy this is going to be. That's what a homeowner wants to hear.
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually want to go into the different pain points. Yeah, so this, you just dropped a huge nugget there, brother. You just dropped a huge one. How much? The price? Can you go over those pain points with me one more time?
Yeah, yeah. So usually when we get to it with the phone with the homeowners, right? Guys, they don't care about us. They don't care about Manny. They don't care about Madam. They just care about, hey, Adam, you calling me? You texting me a text message? Okay. How quickly can you close? How easy this transaction is going to be for me and my family,
Mhm.
and how much, right? So when I understood that, okay, my accent doesn't matter. My accent doesn't matter. As long as I can help the homeowner understand that, hey, Mr. Seller, I can close within 25, 35 days. I can buy the property as is. No hustle to you, meaning usually, Adam, when we buy properties, there's a lot of dead people. There's people that has divorce, and there's a lot of title problem. And for them, the reason why they don't want to do it or they haven't done it is because they know it's a hustle. They know it's a lot of sign, a lot of signature, a lot of people involved. So this is where you, as a problem solver, step in place and say, Mr. Seller, you know what? Let me take that problem off your shoulder.
Seen this before. I've dealt with this situation before, and I've had this issue. And you know what? We actually had the same problem on another house, and this is how we figured it out. Just kind of creating some relation there, and
There
maybe
you go.
like,
There
hey,
you go.
I can solve your problem with
Mhm.
least amount of pain, and that's
Yep.
yeah, that's
Yep.
huge right there.
Yeah, but check this out, Aaron. But the art, right? The art of selling. Why? Because art of selling is giving, and I gotta take something. I give you, but I gotta take something. Meaning, Mr. Seller, I'm willing to clear all this mess for you. 10 people dead, 5 people dead, one live in California, one live in Chicago and Michigan. I'm willing to find those people for you.
Yeah,
But guess what? I need to be at this price in order for me to get into that mess, pretty much. Well, Manny, but hey, Mr. Sally, I get it. The property, I get it. It's in a good condition. It may need some work, but look at it this way. Look at how many people I gotta find out. Look at how many affidavits. Look at how many probates. Look at this. I'm willing to do that for you, but I gotta do it at this price.
right, right.
Now
So it's
I'm giving a solution.
push the value, push the value, and then price.
There you go. I'm giving a solution. I'm giving and giving and giving, and then I tell you, hey, but this is where I need to be at.
Mhm. Going back to what you were saying, because I didn't want to move on to this, but if you are a newer wholesaler and you do have the, yeah, Mr. Wholesaler, Mr. Seller, you're still stuttering, you're still not confident, right?
Yeah.
What do you do this is a rhetorical question because I know what to do, but I'm going to ask you, if you're a newer wholesaler and you still do not sound confident, and really sometimes you got to take a close, hard look in the mirror and say, hey, do I sound confident? Would I buy from me or no? That's
Yes.
that's like the biggest thing you should just really ask yourself.
Yes.
If I was selling my home, would I trust me if I didn't meet me? And if the answer is no, you got to work on some shit. So
Yes, bro, you nailed it. You nailed it. And the reason why is because I had a guy here. I would say haven't right, but he actually got better. And one day I heard him on the call, and he's like, Manny, she told me this, she told me that. I'm like, okay, well, let's rewind it, right? Let's say you are the homeowner, and the homeowner calls you like this, like with same energy, same tonality, same questions. Will you buy from yourself? Will you say yes to yourself? And he's like, man, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Exactly.
mhm, mhm.
So to answer your question, for those new guys, new wholesalers that are actively sending SMS and then getting on the phone with the homeowner or calling or RVN, whatever case they're doing, but they have to get on the phone with the homeowner is role play.
Okay, yeah.
Role playing, role playing. It's the best exercise for us to get better. The way I look at this business, Adam, is basketball, right?
Kobe didn't get to become
Kobe.
not putting
He
up
didn't
shots in the gym.
exactly. He didn't become Kobe. He didn't become Kobe. But people didn't see the hours he put behind it and just shooting. Right. So
Yeah.
for us, how do we train? We train our mind. We train. Believe it or not, I've studied this, and I don't just say this. We
Yes.
train our muscles on our mouth, on our tongue. the way our words come out of our mouth.
Yeah.
See,
So you don't want to, you don't tell me that, brother. I totally believe that.
Exactly.
On repetition. I mean, there's no coincidence that, you know, we're at the places in our career that we are, and not to brag about that, but it's simply just practice. It's simply putting in time, and over time you develop a skill set. So guys, if you are still, and for the guys that are more intermediate, a little further down the line, or advanced guys, we're going to drop some really high level stuff. I'm going to keep it quick, guys, and give you some just quick tactics. Get in front of the mirror.
Yes.
Talk in front of your dog, talk in front of your cat, your little sister, whoever. Talk in front of somebody, record yourself. Record, be critical. Get yourself on camera, get your webcam online and record yourself. Hey, Mr. Seller, listen, I want to talk to you, and just pretend they have one, or ask a friend to come over for an hour, and do that for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, couple hours here, couple hours there. And you'll notice the more you do it, the more confident you sound, and the more confident you sound, the more those margins go up and the more deals you get.
Yes, no, definitely. And you know what's the beauty about this, Adam? That there is a point, I'm already on a point on call calling or talking to people where I've heard all the rebuttals. I've heard all the negative part. I've heard all the, you know, the negative things that can happen. And there is no question that a homeowner can ask me and they find myself like, oh, well, I don't know.
No, you get to a point of mastery. I'm going to challenge you guys here. I'm going to challenge some of you guys here to find somebody, you know, and again, this is kind of someone newer and intermediate guys, to find somebody that's on your level as a wholesaler, even whether they're in their market or not, and just do role play, like really iron sharpens iron. So I really want to challenge you guys to do that. Spend some time this week and really sharpen the sword there. And
also, Adam, record your calls, record your conversations with the homeowners. So record the good ones and record the bad ones. I've had bad calls. I mean, to be honest, I've had shitty ass calls before. Where I'm like, man, where did I fuck up? Okay, let me rewind it, and I go back. Okay, and then I just listen, right? I'm like, okay, the homeowner asked me this, homeowner asked that. Oh, man, I shouldn't have this question. That was not the right timing to ask this question. It was a good question, but I probably should have asked it later or asked before. So that's how I studied the game, being honest. And then I write it down, okay, next time I'm gonna ask this question, not in this conversation. No, I'm gonna ask it later. I'm gonna ask it before. I'm gonna ask it this. Do that, guys. Download your calls, record it. Even the good ones, say, okay, what did I do good? Oh, I asked this question. Look at my tonality. Look at how I sound when I ask for a price.
God, yeah. I mean, think about how many conversations you can have. If you can just spend a few weeks working on this and just mastering this side of it, I mean, you're setting yourself up to be dangerous on the phone. So okay. Now, I really want to we do have a lot of guys that are more on the intermediate and advanced side here too, that might not be relevant for. So I want to make sure it's inclusive for everybody. I guess one of the questions that I had is, how the hell did you guys do 30 deals in a month?
Man, we've been working, Adam, we've been working for this. Like, we've been working at butt off, bro, to get to that level, right? We've been working, right? We've been working. It was all a compound effect, brother. I believe in that. It's all a compound effect. I believe it's just, the hard work we've been putting in the last 12 months. It's not a one month. It's a whole 12 months.
Pays off today,
but of course, thanks to good platforms that we have. For example, I'll tell you, out of those 30 contracts, 10 were SMS alone. Alone. So flex on that. 10 were SMS alone.
Yes, sir. What platform was it you guys were using?
We were using Smart Contact, brother. Smart Contact.
That's right. And by the way, HBHS has been a massive supporter of our platform. We met about last year in Texas, in San Antonio, in Houston, and they started using it. And I mean, they've done, I don't know, 50 plus deals probably at this point through texting. All through Smarter Contact, and there's such huge supporters. I mean, we're such huge supporters of HBHS. I mean, between Manny and everybody else on the squad, they're always providing value. Just real quick, if you haven't already used the Smarter Contact, this is the software to use. And we have a special code for HBHS. So if you're coming from HBHS, you get some additional text credits if it's your first time. Just go to thesmartercontact.com/HBHS. I'm going to drop it here in the comment section, and you get an additional promo code. But this is what these guys are using.
Yep.
And
Hey, and I'll tell you right now, brother, I'll tell you right now, we are at the, what, today's the 12th, and we are at contract 11, and out of those 11, 6 are for SMS already. So Teddy and I are doing a competition to see who gets more contract in the month, and right now he's ahead. He's ahead by 1, and I'm like, hey, bro, you can't.
Buy some tacos.
You
about to buy some tacos.
We're betting Shamagausha. Whoever gets more contract is gonna take, either he taking Shamagausha or I taking Shamagausha. So we're averaging about a contract a day, if that's, per se, one contract a day. And the way we did it, Adam, was, Smart Contact, huge platform, right, to get those deals. Sometimes we didn't even talk to the homeowner over the phone. Everything was just through text. Now the other 20 was, of course, cold calling, because I've been working hard on building a strong acquisition team, VA team. And it was really the system. We fine-tuned it where it comes through, a lead comes in, an offer goes out. A lead comes in, an offer goes out. A lead comes in, an offer, like it's just an autopilot, bro, an autopilot.
Wow. All right. So I want to get into a couple of the areas of this here. So, your secret to 30 deals is just being consistent, just putting in the time. I mean, that's no secret to anybody else that's successful in any industry. You just put in the time, and over time you get better. And the results, if you're expecting results in any industry tomorrow, it's the wrong industry for you. You got to put in the time and just know that your fruit is going to grow in 3 months. Your harvest is going to, show the rewards in 3 months or 6 months, and the longer you go, the more crops you sow. Now, for the more intermediate and advanced guys, like what kind of strategies you can give us that you could offer here for some of the guys that are watching or more on the
for the intermediate guy that is doing 1 deal a month, 2 deals a month, and they're trying to scale up. I'll say, another thing, Adam, I think a lot of people in this business, they overthink it too much. They overthink the fact that, because we're doing deals virtually, right? And sometimes, Adam, we don't even see the property. And it's crazy when people call me, it's like, hey, Manny, and I have this property in San Antonio, and I don't know what to offer. I haven't seen it. I'm like, okay, what are the numbers? The first thing I ask is, what are the numbers? How much do they want? What do you get as an ARV? Cool. Hey, numbers make sense. Why are you worrying so much about the rehab costs? So one thing that we do, Adam, is we always take into consideration, of course, when we do the math on our rehab, we go high. We go even beyond that what it can be. So when we lock it up, we don't even see it, which is expect the worst for the property, foundation, roof, new IC, new everything. So guys, for those of you that intermediate is, when you get a lead and numbers are kind of okay, making sense, don't overthink too much the rehab costs. Don't be like, well, but I'm not sure about how much rehab, how much a roof, how much this. No. If your formula is making sense and the numbers are where you need to be at, just lock that motherfucker up. Just get it on the contract. Get it in the contract and do your due diligence after the fact you get a contract. That's another ninja trick that we have applied in our company, and that's how we've been able to accumulate more contracts. Where before we were too much, okay, how much rehab was? No. Numbers make sense. Numbers don't lie. Get it.
Right.
Get it. So I'm sure that some of you guys are letting deals slip on the, get called because you're worrying too much about how much rehab or, what if the numbers don't make sense? If numbers are making sense on your formula, get it on the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Get it on the contract. And if you need help, you call somebody like me, you call HBHS, and guess what? We're going to help you with this deal. And that's really what we do. A lot of people are targeting San Antonio right now for some reason. And guess what they're calling? They're calling us. They're calling me. Hey, Manny, can you see go to this house? Can you get the contract? Can you go do this? I'm like, sure. Yeah, let's do it. So that's a little takeaway that I like for you guys to don't overthink too much. Don't take too long to make an offer. You get a lead. They say yes. Run it up. See on Zillow. Don't even have to have access to MLS. Just see on Zillow. Go for the active listing on that area. Go apples for apple. Okay. Why, Adam? Because if you see an active listing that is all fixed up, 2020 standards, what do you think the ARV is? Whatever the realtor put it at. Because the realtor, their job is to give the homeowner a true comp, a true ARV. So if you got your property 100,000 and you see one that is just like yours for 150, but it's all fixed up, what does that tell you? Well, the realtor already ran the comp for me. I know for a fact that this property, once I get it, the ARV is 150. So right away, you already got an offer in what, 5 minutes, 7 minutes?
Yeah. All right. So what I want to do today is I want to do a role play.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have a customer that we can call, or I can pretend to be a customer. I can just be like a.
As right now, I probably do, but I want to listen. Go ahead, show me. Let's do a role play between you and I, or actually one of the audience if they want to jump in.
Oh, all right. So who here wants to volunteer to pretend? And you got to have some good banter, and you got to give them a hard time. So we can't let Manny off easy. We got to be a real tough customer.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it up to the panel. Raise your hand if first person to raise their hand that wants to be a customer, and we can have you on.
Who wants to role play? Now, another thing, I know a lot of people need help on this, Adam. Man, he's subject to, oh my God, how do I tell the homeowner that we're buying their property, but the loan's gonna be under their name? That's a huge one for a lot of people, right? And what I tell is simple. What are my principles? Trust. I build so much trust with the homeowner that when I tell them that I'm buying their property, but the loan's gonna be in their name, they're like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool, no problem. So there is a different script. There's a different psychology behind that, because imagine, Adam, I'm asking you for your car payments, your car statement, how much you pay, how much you owe in your car. Why are you asking me for this, bro? But there's ways to ask those questions. That way the homeowner feels comfortable, build the trust, and they just give you everything you need to do a subject to.
I love it. So we got a couple of hands raised. I'm gonna just pick a friend of mine that I've known actually for a long time, and I was talking to him this week. My boy Jason in Tampa. So Jason, I'm gonna have you in here.
What's up, Adam?
Jumping on. Jason, can you hear us?
Hear me?
Yeah. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Good. Good to see you here, buddy.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Hey, so you're gonna be the seller, right?
Right.
All right, cool. Hey, Jason.
Yeah, I was calling because I got this text message. I was kind of curious how you got my telephone number.
Yes. Hey, that's a good question, Jason. My name is Manny. One more time, I work with home buying, home selling, and what we do is we buy anywhere from 15, 20 properties a month. And, we're just targeting that zip code specific, which is bought a property last month in that area. And we're just calling homeowners to see if they would like to sell. Now, when it comes to getting the phone number, we have systems like, for example, white pages or things like that. Sometimes we get lucky and sometimes we don't when it comes to the phone number, but it looks like we got lucky, Jason. Hey, one more time, I don't want to take some more of your time, but would you be interested in selling the property?
Sorry?
Would you be interested in selling the property?
Maybe. I kind of thought about it. It's if the price is right, I guess maybe I'd think about selling.
Yeah, I know, Jason. Of course, everything, the price has to make sense.
And I get these texts from like 10 people a day, so I don't know who's real, who's not.
I'll tell you,
I've considered it, but I don't know who to trust or if I can get the right price or if I should just list it.
I'm with you, Jason, and tell you this. In this call, my job is to make sure that you don't get those texts no more, because I want to be the guy that you go with. Okay. So before we get into, what's the price right? Let me ask you this. Have you done any work to the kitchen or restaurant in the last 5 years?
No, I bought it originally like in the 90s, and really it's clean, but it's not. the kitchen's still the same as when I bought it, but it's nice. I mean, everything works. It's clean.
Okay.
You know.
That's good. That's good, Jason. Yeah, I mean, but we say that would it be fair to say that the property may need some updates?
I guess if you're gonna,
Yeah.
try to get full value, you need to do a little bit of work at least.
Yeah, yeah. And again, the reason why I'm asking, Jason, is because our company, what we do is, of course, we have different exit strategies, but mainly what we do is we buy property, fix them up. We either keep it for our portfolio or we put it back on the market. And as you know, if we put it back on the market, we'd like to put it, 2020, 2021 standards, okay? That's all I'm asking. But hey, I mean, it sounds to be a good property. I mean, is it vacant right now, or do you live there?
No. I had I had it rented for a while, and I had a couple problem tenants that I couldn't really. And I thought about selling it because it's vacant. Either I would put a new tenant in it or sell it. But my last tenant was not a very good experience. So
yeah. Hey, Jason, I know. I mean, with tenants, do tell me about it. We deal with that, every day and every month. Even with the Corona stuff. With the sometimes they don't pay rent, but I trust me, I know where you're coming from. But hey, this is what I do for a living, and I'm okay with that. We have XYZ amount of properties a month, so I'm okay with that, dealing with that tenant. It sounds to be that that might be a little problem for you. So what I want to do is I like to say I don't just buy property, I buy problems. So I like to take that problem off your shoulder. Now, with that being said, I know the property was cash flowing. I know it's a good property, may need some work, but I'm kind of curious, right? I mean, it sounds to be in a good area and a good property. Why would you even consider selling it if the property is cash flowing?
Again, the last tenant was challenging, and I've kind of been on the fence about whether I want to put a tenant in there or just sell it. And I've owned several other properties before, so.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've sold a couple, but I've kind of played around with, investing and buying rental property. So I've had some, sold some. I don't know how effective I am at it, but
yeah.
I kind of don't know if I want to still keep dealing with the tenants on it. That's me.
No, it makes sense, buddy. Again, one more time, I'm here just to take that problem off your shoulder. But of course, right, the price have to make sense for you. It makes sense for us as an investor. It looks like you understand as as an investor, when it comes to buying properties, we have to be a center pride. Although I wanted to tell you this, usually when we buy properties, the time frame is anywhere from 25 to 35 days to actually close on the property. Is that too fast or too slow for you?
We do a lot of talking. Do you have an idea how much you can offer me? I mean, I understand that you're in a business, but I mean, it all comes down to how much you can give me for it, really.
Yeah, of course, right. Again, it has to make sense for you. It makes sense for everybody. One more time. But hey, did I mention that I buy properties as is, cash, close quickly, and the favorite part, Jason, is not commission? Did I say that before?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you said something like that.
Good. So if I'm able to do that for you, Jason, and buy the property, what is a ballpark figure you consider for it?
What you buy property all the time? How much you think it's worth?
That's a good question. Every property is different depending on the square feet, how many bedrooms and bathrooms, zip code areas, right? Appraisal. So it depends, right? In this area, I got to check right now. I don't have it on top of my head, but I got to run it with my senior partner. But before I get with him, I wanted to see, what is a ballpark figure you're looking to get. That way I can present it to him and we can get the okay. And if we get the okay, we move forward with the property. Now, I can tell you this. Usually, homeowners that are serious in selling the property, they may have a price in mind. What is that price, Jason?
I was really kind of counting on seeing because I get all these texts. I was kind of, trying to find out what an expert thinks about it, So,
yeah. And I'm with you, Jason. So I'll tell you this. Look, in this area right now, I'm looking at the files that we purchased last month, and that's Zen Zedco. We're getting in anywhere from $55,000 to $65,000. Now, again, that doesn't mean it's your property. That doesn't mean it's your property, Jason, because we haven't seen it yet. But I know for a fact that might be a ballpark figure where my financial department where they may need to be out on that property. Is that a figure you're looking to get?
I don't know. It seems kind of low to me. I mean, I don't want to give it away. I want to sell it. I was getting cash flow, so if I sell, I'll make a little bit of money. But I don't want to give it away. I feel like if I was sold it for that price, that I must be like just giving it to you.
I'm here. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying, Jason. So if you know now you know where I may need to be at. If you could help me get a figure, that way I can present it to my senior partners in my financial department. That way I can get closer to that, and we can work something out. What is that price, Jason? That you'll say, you know what, Manny, I'm comfortable with this. If you guys can give me this, we rock and roll today.
I guess I'd be maybe 120,000.
120,000
Yeah.
makes sense, Jason. Makes sense. Now, let me ask you this. So, how long? You said the property's been vacant for how long has that been?
6 months.
6 months. Okay, 6 months. Okay. Any squatters lately? No squatters in the property. Not nobody trying to break in the property.
Not that I know of. No.
Okay. And again,
I don't live in the same city, but not that I know of. There's nobody in there.
Okay, no, that's fine. And then asking because sometimes usually that happens over here. But hey, I'll tell you this. Okay, 120. I'm around 55, 65. That's a little bit too far off. Taking into consideration that the property, may need some updates. Just cosmetics work. But I didn't ask you about the foundation and the roof. How is that?
Well, the roof is good shape. There's no, like I said, it's it's it still looks like it's from the still like it was when I bought it in the 90s, but
Okay.
there's no leaks. I don't have any problems with the roof. I think it's still got some years on it. So the roof, it doesn't leak. It's
Okay, perfect.
For a rental property, you could rent it right away because I was just renting it 6 months ago. So
I'll tell you this. Guys, take notes on this, okay? This is huge what's coming right now. It's huge what's coming. It's coming to boom right now. It's gonna blow your face. All right. Hey, Jason, look, that was a cash offer that that we may need to be out on that area. Now, have you thought about the idea of keep getting cash flow on the property without worrying about the tenants, without worrying about the taxes, without worrying about the insurance, without worrying about the AC, plumbing? Have you thought about that idea before?
So you're talking about me getting money like I did when I was renting it, except I don't have to do anything? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Is that possible? I've never heard of anything like that. How would you do something like that?
Okay.
That don't make sense to me. You have to tell me. I don't,
definitely.
nobody's ever said anything like that to me.
I know, and I'm glad that nobody has said that. That's why I told you in the beginning. I want to be the last person you talk to when it comes to selling the property. I'll tell you this.
If you give me a good enough offer, you can be the last person.
Okay. I'll tell you this. In our company, we have two ways to buying properties, Jason. The first way that we buy property, usually 99% of the time, is cash, as I mentioned earlier. Now, check this out. I told you that you still can be getting cash flow for the property, like if you were renting it without worrying about tenants, vacancy, taxes, insurance. And that is the second option, where your property actually may qualify. Okay. By the way, is it paid off?
Yeah, it's free and clear.
Okay,
I bought a cash.
Perfect. So it most likely will qualify for a second auction, is where we, as the homeowner, as the buyers, we will step in your position, right? We will buy the property on terms, and you will still get your cash flow every month without worrying about the tenant. And by that way, we can actually get closer to the number that you want. Meaning, right now I'm at 55, 65. If you're okay with doing some terms with me, I'm willing to go up on my price, maybe closer, or maybe to what you want, right? But we'll do it on terms, Jason.
How close to what I want?
How close to where you want? That right now, I might not be able to tell you. I gotta run it with my financial department one more time, but I know it's gonna be a lot closer to what I'm at right now as cash. What I need from you is, if I'm willing to go up and get with my financial department, are we okay with doing that?
Well, I don't see how I can argue with getting cash flow and not having to worry about tenants or taxes or fixing properties. I can't say. If you can get me close to my number and I have a decent amount of cash flow coming, obviously, it's 3 bedrooms, so I can.
Okay.
Since I own it free and clear, I can rent it for $1,100, and that's how much I'm making minus the taxes and
minus taxes, insurance, vacancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been sitting vacant for 6 months, so you know where that's sitting for me right now.
Right. So let's be realistic on this, Jason. Right? If really you're pocketing netting what, 600, 550 a month, something like that.
Closer to like 700.
Okay, perfect. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm able to get close to at least
when there's a tenant, that is. Right now, I'm just sitting
there, right? So that's what I'm saying, Jason. If I'm able to get to close to $700 a month without you worrying about the tenant, without you worrying about the taxes, without you worrying about anything with the property, does that sound something that you're interested in doing?
Absolutely. I mean, if I'm making almost the same things I'm making now without the headache, it's hard for me to
Perfect. I'll tell you this,
argue with that.
I'll tell you this, Jason. Was an awesome call. Nice to meet you again. My name is Manny. I'm gonna run right now with my financial department. I get back with you, see what that second offer with a owner finance looks like. Most likely, we might be able to get close to $700 a month. Although I gotta run it by then and give you a call back in 5-10 minutes. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
I get off the phone, guys. This is elite. If this is actually true live on a call, this is elite. Why? Because now I'm able to tell Jason, hey, I talked to my financial department. I ran the number. This is a formula calculated that we have here, right? Where we punch the number. Let's just say he wants 120. I'm gonna come back with 95. With 95, and I'm gonna give him 5,000 down. Yeah. Now, which is purchase his property for $5,000. It has no notes. It's free and clear. Right? We give him $5,000. We know he was renting it for $1,100. He was cash flowing $700 a month. If I'm willing to give him, hey Jason, I'll give you, I don't know, $450 a month, $500 a month, without worrying about this, without worrying about. If you notice, I said that so many times. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about this. He wants cash flow. He's used to getting that mailbox check. If I can help him understand, hey, you may not be getting $700, but you might be getting $450, $500 without worrying about it. Guess what he's gonna say?
He's gonna say I'm all in.
Right, right. So now for us, how does that make sense for us, for investors? Well, that's when Charles and Mike comes in place. We get that property, fly down. We put a little touch up. We either Airbnb it or we put it for rent. Increase the rent to, let's say, $1,200 a month. Now we're cash flowing. We pay Jason $450, $500 a month. We cash flowing $300 a month. Now it becomes a cash flow property. We do a 5-year balloon. Wait for what the balance is. Put it for sale. Everybody gets paid, and we make money at the end. So did that blow your mind?
Well played, guys. Jason, I'm really glad I picked you for that, because that was a real life scenario. And that was a deal that probably 90% of wholesalers would pass on. They'd be like, all right, the guy, I'm offering $50K. The guy came back at $120,000. All right, yeah, I'm sorry, just call your realtor.
Yeah.
80-90% of wholesalers would have left it there, but that's a deal that you got paid on. So
you can be creative. Imagine, guys, if you let's just say anybody, right, on the audience to say, Manny, but I don't have the funds. I don't have the $5,000 down. I can't take over. I'm new in this business. I've only been here 4 or 5 months trying to get a deal. Guys, if you get a homeowner telling you yes, you say yes, you call us. Hey, Manny, I'm going to wholesale you this deal. And guess what? We're going to buy it. We pay your wholesale fee and we take over. Now we take over that property. Yeah. And that's what Adam's saying. A lot of wholesalers are letting meat on the bones because they're not talking about creative finance. They're not talking about, owner-to-owner finance deal. Which has got one, Adam, 5,000 down, 0 interest, no balloon, 10-year note. The payments are like $250 a month, and the rents are like $900. Mm-hmm. $900. Mm-hmm. We purchased the property all in at $40,000. ARV is $100,000. Now think about that for a moment. ARV 100, purchase for $40,000, 5,000 down, 0 balloon, 0 interest, cash flowing about what? $700 a month. We're gonna let it run out. Few years, get a tenant. Hey, owner finance, dueño. Give me 10,000 down. We got our 10,000 down, mm-hmm. And then let the sucker run until it gets paid off.
Yeah. One way to do a deal. And a couple of things I noted from the call as well. So first of all, actually, before we move on, Jason, thank you so much. Kudos, brother. And thanks again for that plumber contact. We're going to actually hook up my house this week. He's hooking me up with a plumber. But yeah, Jason.
You're welcome, Adam. Anytime.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, but how was that though?
No, you're that's good. I was trying to. I've talked to a lot of sellers over the years, so I was trying to make it real. And
I can tell.
I saw Adam post this about the deals you closed. I said I can't get away from a free Zoom call talking about closing 30 deals, so I had to jump in here.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, there you go. So one of those 30 deals, some of them are not just strictly wholesaling. They are also owner finance, creative deals. So if we wouldn't have, practice a strategy with Mike and Charles here, we wouldn't have hit 30. We probably would have like out of those, probably like 4 or 5 were actually creative. So you got to be creative when it comes to those deals, guys.
Right, because we do some subject to stuff also. We do
Yeah.
some stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So.
Cool, man. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Manuel.
All right. So, yeah, good stuff. So one of the things I noticed too is just the flow of how you talked. It was always positive, even when there was a stopping point, like let's say, for example, you offered 50K and he came back at 120. Obviously that's a no deal, but you're like, oh, great. Like there was no negative, trigger point. Like, it was always like positive. It was always, every cue was taking it in a positive uptake. I definitely noticed that.
Why do I do that, Adam? But there's a why.
Yeah.
There's a why I do that, right? There's for everything that I say and that I ask, there's a reason behind it. And the reason behind it is simple, because everybody that's calling and he's telling 120, what is everybody doing? Nah, how do you get that number?
Right.
Who told you 120?
Right.
Now here I am. He said he'd been talking to 7, 8 people, but here I am, the different guy that said, oh, okay, cool, thank you, man. Now I know. All right, let's see if we can work together. Now I flip it. So.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I'm gonna podcast. We're not gonna call you back. All right.
Probably a seller. Nah, it's supposed to say it's probably a seller right there on the line. All right. Okay. So any other, well, right now, I actually would like to go through some of the questions. We have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So, man, if you want to go through some of the questions here and
so I got Steve says that he have a subject to in Houston with title issues. Would like to send that. Send it over, Steve. Send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and that way we can talk more about that subject to deal, guys. When it comes to subject to deals, I'm gonna tell you all straight up. Would like to be all in at 20,000, meaning reinstatement, rehab, and wholesale fee. So make sure that the numbers are there. If the rehab on the subject to is 30,000, most likely we're not gonna do it. Have several buyers lined up already. Need help with the current title, JB or wherever you want to take it down. Yeah, Steve. Again, send it my way. Let's talk about it, and then we always welcome to JB. Now, what continuous training or direction do you give your VAs? Oh, that's a good one. When it comes to VAs, dude, it's taking me a long time to master, training VAs and talking to them, because they're workers. They're here just to work. They don't have that entrepreneurial mindset. They have just that hard ethic, worker. They just want to work. So when it comes to VAs, we try to do at least 3 times training before they get on the phones. So they start calling from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So around 2:30, I get on the phones with them, and I just role play. Again, it's just role playing. And I tell them, okay, go ahead and call me. Same thing what we're doing. Call me. Tell me, what is your question? What concern do you have? Do you have a question that you didn't know how to answer? And it's a constant work, training with them, with the VAs guys. Cool. And then it's the other question. Do you have a non-paying tenant? Okay. How do you get a non-paying tenant out of the houses that you have in the contract? Cash for key. Always work. There's a seller. Hey man, I want to do this the right way. I want the right way is let me give you cash for key. Let me give you $1,000, and then give me the property. Oh no, I don't want to do that, Mr. Seller. Oh, Mr. Tenant, I can go file for what you calling when you go to the county and they eviction.
State, Matt, I've done this. I've done plenty of cash for keys. What state? I mean, if they're ghosting you, I mean, I think the next thing you're gonna want to lead in with is money. I mean, in my text, like I don't really bring up money too much. I'm like, yeah, I'll do a fair win-win deal with them. I have bought and sold hundreds of houses myself, so I'm familiar with this process. But then if they're ghosting you, I would just lead them with a text. Listen, John, I know you're there. At this point, I'm going to be more than fair. I'll give you, if you offered them $500, I'll give you $2,000 if we can make this thing work. Like really get aggressive on your offer and make it clear in the text, like straight to the point. They're all about money. If within 24 hours, they're not responding, be like, hey, be like, I'll offer you X amount. If I don't hear back by tomorrow, I'm just going to call the sheriff, go to the eviction.
Yeah. And literally that's what we do. And then we tell them, hey, look, I'm going to pay the sheriff $1,000 I'd rather give you that money. Like, come on, let's just wait.
You use the scare word, use eviction, sheriff. I'm going to call the sheriff. Listen, you know, tell them like, hey, I know what I have. Offer a really high amount because they obviously they know the game. They, you know, they're not stupid. So, you know, play the game with them and offer them cash at a really reasonable amount because you might not want to spend the time, the money, all that kind of stuff, tying up the deal. Offer them more. No, you don't meet them all closing. No, you meet them at the house or you have somebody representing you, meeting them in the house. But here's a little ninja trick that I do. When I offer cash for keys and they're a day late, every single day that they're late, the offer goes down $50. So if I offer them $1,000 for cash for keys and they say, hey, move out on Tuesday the 1st and they moved out on Wednesday the 2nd, it's $950 every day, you know, but you meet them with cash at the house and they have to give you the keys. They have to be moving out and it's an even exchange. It's not a legal thing.
Yep. Adam, we have a question, a good question here on AJ. From AJ, he says, "Are there any creative strategies you can use if a property needs a full gut, full rehab, and homeowners asking the price is very high?" So yes, when we take over this type of properties, right, we're not looking to a full rehab, like a full foundation, roof, like everything. Now, which okay, we know in this work. But if it's a little bit like say 40,000 rehab, I mean, it just, hey, Mr. Seller, I mean, you got a crap house. It's just being honest. You know, how are you getting? What I'd like to tell him is, Mr. Seller, if you were an investor, if you were me, would you buy this property at this price? Adam there? Adam, you there?
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Okay. So what I like to tell him, hey, if the price is super ridiculous, and hey, look, if you were an investor, would you buy this property? Would you buy your property at this price? And funny things are going to happen. They'll stay quiet. They'll be like, they're probably going to curse you out, you know, in their man, this motherfucker, right? But they'll tell you, well, no. Exactly. So, you know, just, you know, I mean, as an investor, you know, what makes me, you know, buy the property around this price, Mr. Seller? So I remember it's all how you say it. So let's see another question. Daniel, it says, some of your leads come through text messenger marketing. What does your texter need to find out before getting the seller on the phone? Good question, Daniel. Good question. So before the SMS team gets on the phone, we have to find out the 4 pillars. And I've talked about this before, which is condition, motivation, timeline, and price. Condition, motivation, timeline, and price. Why? Because you don't want to get on the phone with the homeowner or anybody that says yes, because without qualifying them. You want to at least send a few texts saying, hey, what would you consider for the property? Hey, what's the condition of the property? Why are you looking to sell? What is the timeline? Once you get that written on the text, that's when you call in and then you make the offer and, you know, just build rapport with them over the phone. So I hope that answered your question, bro.
Got it. Okay. So to kind of close it off, it's been about an hour. I think we have a ton of stuff. And then Manny, we're going to keep you on once a month. I mean, this is just unreal how much value this was. So Manny, how can people find you? What's the best way to communicate? And
best way to communicate with me, guys, is at Manny Cash HBHS. Manny Cash HBHS. That's my Instagram name, Manny Cash HBHS. And of course, Facebook at Manny Cash Houses as well, the Home Buying, Home Selling Association. I'm always active there answering questions. And that's literally it, you know, Manny Cash. All over social media. I put my Instagram there. And guys, if you guys are working any subject to deals, any wholesale deals, multifamily, whatever the case might be, and you need help with, and you want to JB with us, you know, give us a call. Give us a call. We're good at clean title here in Texas, and we got buyers all over Texas. So that's the best way we can work together and, you know, get in touch.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and HBHS, check out the group. We posted the HBHS group. They're always dropping knowledge. Really, these guys are heart of gold. All of these guys, and they're family to me and the Smarter Contact community. So yeah, definitely check them out.
Adam, real quick before we hang up, this is a good question here that says, Manny, what is the best for producing list you're targeting at the moment? And it's funny because we get these questions a lot. And there's not a list, Adam. For us, we hit all of them. All of them. All of them work. High equity, low equity, taxes, no taxes, vacant, no vacant, water shut off. I mean, all of them work. There's not a specific list, although we like tax delinquent the most, but we're not really like, oh, let's just focus on this. No, we hit all of them, look at it like it's a big pool, and then from that big pool, we're gonna narrow it down to what we want. So, yep. And Evan, yes, we do deals. We do JV deals outside the state too. Yes, we do JV deals outside the state too. It's key number to go. Yep. Cool, man. Any
Cool.
other? I don't. Anything else?
That's it. Yeah, so check us out. For you guys that aren't familiar with our platform, Smarter Contact, SMS marketing, we do everything all in one. SMS, skip tracing, all included. And we have a special promo for HBHS customers, thesmartercontact.com/HBHS. And yes, Manny, we'll be back next month.
Next month.
Any last words, Manny? I'll let you take it away. Any last words for our guests that showed up today?
Let's do it. So, guys, Adam, there's another last question, bro. I have to perform. I have to do what I do best. I can't leave the people hanging.
You're a cleaner, that's why.
I can't leave the people hanging, bro. So my man right here, Robert Moore, he says, I'm new to the real estate. How do I know when I have a subject to deal? Right? So I guess the question is, how do I know when I'm talking to the homeowner and I know it's going to be a subject to? Easy, Robert. You get on the phone, you're talking to the homeowner. The first thing you want to do is pull up Zillow. Pull up Zillow. If Zillow tells you is that you show is a new property, fixed up, nice, most likely there's a new loan in that property. Cool. What are you gonna do? I'm just telling you. A quick question. Is the property? Does the property have a mortgage in place? Oh yeah, there's a mortgage in there. Okay, awesome. And how long ago did you buy it? Well, I bought it in 2020 or 2019, 2018. When they tell you the date, the year that they bought the property, and if it's 2 years, period, or 4 or 5 years period, that most likely would be a subject to deal because they don't have enough equity for them to sell the property. So one more time, when you get on the phone and you look at Zillow, it's a new property, 2 questions you're gonna ask. Does the property has a mortgage? This is how I asked Jason. No, Jason says it's free and clear, perfect, not a subject to, it's gonna be a wholesale or a creative finance. So if the homeowner says, yes, I have a mortgage, okay, perfect. When did you buy the property? You know what I'm asking? Oh, 2 years ago, 2018. Boom, right away, your chip have to change to wholesale to subject to. Now your conversation is gonna go to a subject to. That's it for me, guys. I hope that answered your question. My name is Manny Cash with Home Buying, Home Selling. I love you guys. I want to see you cracking 40, 50 deals a month. Adam, it's always a pleasure, my man. Until the next month. Let's go.
Let's go. Take care, guys. Enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed all this, and see you guys for the next one we'll have next month. Thank you so much for jumping on. Take care, guys.